some of the ways that salespeople can start to learn what someone's bias may be in order to help to know what their approach is or help to build that rapport? Is there some tricks of the trade that you've learned over your 23 years that you could share?
Every time I went out to talk to somebody, I tried to do my homework, right? I wanted to know as much as I could. Now, when I first started, we didn't have social media and we didn't have the internet to speak of. And so it was a little bit more difficult than it is now. Mm-hmm. But certainly taking the time to find out what they're posting on Facebook or Instagram or wherever they do their social media, that's going to give you some idea of what's important to them, right? And then when you go visit, let's take you're going to visit in an office, right? You walk into somebody's office, you need to be your head on a swivel going, what's their office look like, right? Is it a minimalist office with very few things? Okay, that might tell me something about the individual. Is there a wall of pictures with everybody famous this person's ever met, right? Okay, that tells me something else about this individual. They're probably a little bit more about me. They probably like the idea of the acclaim and who they know and that sort of stuff. They have pictures of their family. Do they have pictures from Pebble Beach where they've played golf or whatever, right? So you're assessing all this information in the first few seconds when you walk in because you're hoping to find something that you can relate to. Right. So if you play golf, and I used to play golf for a while before it started costing me too much money and time. But if I saw that thing on the Pebble Beach on the wall, or for me, the Masters, right, I would ask, hey, have you been to the Masters? Was that recently? You know, I just want that individual to start talking about something that's important to them. And I know Robin speaks to this often as well, right? It is, as you well know, it's not about us. It is about them.
Right.
So I'm trying hard early on to find things that are important. If, you know, I might look at the books that are behind you in this video to see what is she reading, right? What's important. If I want to make that connection to be a little bit more human. As you said, we all have stereotypes. And if you see me a certain way and I come in and I play into that stereotype, then that's not necessarily a good thing. Mm-hmm. I kind of want to put you at ease, let you know what's going on, show that I have interest outside of the bureau. And that I'm engaging with someone that is human, that is important.
Yes.
And listening, as you said earlier, listening really is the key. And not listening to, I'm not trying to, I guess, make this person feel uneasy or manipulate this person in a way that I'm trying to gain something, because I'm convinced that people see that right away. If I'm really genuine and interested in something, we all know how those conversations go. We all know we've had thousands of them. And if they fit into that mold, then people are going to be open and start talking to you. But as soon as you play into that stereotype and re-emphasize or reinforce what they already think might be bad, you've lost them.
Yeah. All right. So you want to have a little fun?
Sure.
All right. So you mentioned the wall behind me. So if you were, you were to knock on my door because something happened in my area and you want to see if I know anything. Let's just say that's the scenario. When you see me open the door and this is behind me, how do you take what you see as a way to build rapport? I'm putting you on the spot.
That's all right. So, from here, I can't read every title, but I would take away some things first to go, okay, she is a pretty voracious reader, right? I assume that she's read most of those books. I can see even from here little bookmarks sticking out from some of the tops of those books. So something about those books are important to you. If I could see one up close, I see Michael Port's book back there, Steal the Show, or Stephen Covey's, The Eighth Habit. And I saw something sticking out of that. I've read those. So and the fact that you've got a bookmark back there, I'm probably drawn to that and start talking about, oh, I see you've read that book. What did you think about something? And I would show that I've read that book, right? So that hopefully I've built that connection to you. And I can't really tell too much about where they're grouped, but if I could tell sort of here's the different areas that you speak about, maybe some of them about leadership, obviously some about sales, and some about, other things, then that's going to give me an idea. I see a New England Patriots mug or cup back there, right? So you like the Patriots. I'm sorry, that's a bad thing. I apologize. I hate that, but right. So that tells me something about you, either from the area you're in or, the fact that you actually You like the Patriots. Maybe there's something we can talk about a little bit there. Maybe we can have a little fun with it. Maybe I say I don't know, the Jets or the Giants or somebody. Maybe we can have a little fun with it.
Oh, that
Right?
conversation is going to go sideways, I promise you.
Yeah. So those are some of the things that I even think the fact that you've got unexposed boards back there at a 45-degree angle tells me something about what you like, the type of architecture you like, right? It's elegant in its own way, but it is simplistic, right? It's not an overly done background with, highly ornate knobs and pulls and hinges and so forth, right? It's but it tells me a little something about you. I may use some of that, I may not, but you've obviously set that up to let people know something about you. If I'm open to what I'm seeing, then I'm reading that and I'm understanding it and I'm responding to it and I'm showing you that, yes, that's important. I like what you've done and I have some connection. If I saw a book I didn't know about, would you tell me about that book a little bit? But again, it's got to be genuine, because I'm just doing it, to try to make conversation. Then as soon as we try to make that segue to the next topic, you're going to see that first conversation was just that, just words, and didn't really have a meaning. But I'm convinced that if you do it well, the segue is not a non sequitur. It actually is part of a conversation that we're having. And at the end, that's really what we're doing. When I'm building rapport as an agent, my interviews are conversations with a purpose, right? They're designed to get somewhere. I'm not manipulating you, but I understand where I need to go with it. And I want to make sure that we get to where we need to go.
Yeah. Because people want to feel like you get them in their world, right? Like, I don't know who wouldn't want to be analyzed by an FBI special agent. And you're spot on too. Like, I do read a lot. I read 69 books last year. I'm very much I love having a simple in the woods kind of a life. So we unconsciously are projecting to people some of these things. And so it's not manipulation. It's just, this is who I am. And this is, you're giving them here's an FYI of how to approach me. Like, if you open the door and you look down and you see a whole bunch of muddy boots, that they either like hiking or working outside in some way, or if there's smaller boots, then there's kids. There's all these kinds of things, but it all comes back to being willing to focus on the other person and learn more about them, because that's how we build relationships.